All right, so Call of Duty Next happened earlier today as of the recording of this video, and I'm going to talk about a bunch of the stuff that they revealed and got shown during that, but really quick. So I didn't know this until it was literally already happening, but there were drops for Call of Duty Next, and if you were watching the official Call of Duty channel or any of the partner channels that were, streaming there was apparently, if you watched for a full hour, you were able to get a early access beta code for Black Ops 7, and I was at work at this point, so I pulled the stream up on my phone, and I just let it run for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And as you can see, I got all the other rewards, which I thought these were going to be for BO6, but they're for BO7, which this one makes sense. But why are these for BO7? Because I checked my account and these aren't in BO6 currently, so it's very weird. Anyways, my point being is that, after watching it for at least an hour, I still have not gotten a early access code for the beta. But if we come over here to the official Call of Duty account on Twitter, they said, we're aware that some Twitch users are still experiencing delays with beta drops appearing in their inbox. Rest assured, everybody who watched COD Next for at least 1 hour will receive a code for early access to the Black Ops 7 beta starting October 2nd. So I know some people have gotten their codes like, when they reached an hour, but yeah, unfortunately I haven't. So I've been refreshing my Twitch page for like the entire day, hoping that a code eventually gets sent to my inbox. But yeah, I recorded a version of this video before COD Next happened, but I recorded it so late that I didn't have time to finish editing it before work. And by the time that video would have gone up, COD Next would have happened. There would have been no point in uploading that anyways. So I decided to just wait and see everything that they showed so I could talk about it instead. But yeah, I will be, whether I get a early access code or I just end up pre-ordering the game, I will be playing Black Ops 7, the beta, starting on October 2nd. So if you do want to see that, you want to see sort of gameplay for yourself without having to actually fork up $70 to $100, because even if it weren't for the beta and the fact that zombies is going to be in it, which I'm going to talk about that in a second because there's some caveats with that they announced at the last second. Yeah, if it weren't for the beta, I wouldn't be considering pre-ordering the game. But yeah, hopefully I do get that early access code because I wasn't aware they were going to be doing drops for that. So yeah, hopefully it comes through with that, because if it doesn't, I'll be kind of sad. Although I'm going to end up buying the game anyways, but it's more so the timing of things that I'm sort of worried about in terms of money. But yeah, if you do want to see Black Ops 7 beta gameplay for multiplayer and for zombies especially, I will be making sure that I'm definitely making videos and probably streaming during the beta period. So double points at the end of the round, you love to see it. But yeah, I guess I should talk about that. So it was announced in the reveal trailer for BO7 Zombies at the end that survival would be playable during the beta for the first time ever in a Black Ops Zombies game for a beta. And I got tons of people, myself included, super excited because you get to play zombies early if you get an early access code or you pre-order the game. And one cool thing they did announce as of today is that there is no round cap on the survival mode in the beta, which that was a concern people were having, where it was like, oh, it's super cool that you'll be able to play zombies early, but there might be like weird caveats with that, which there is, which I'll talk about. But yeah, there's no round cap, which is really cool. It would have been super lame if you could only get to like round 15 or 20 and then they like force you to exfil or whatever, but that does not seem to be the case. But yeah, because Call of Duty can't help but shoot itself in the foot constantly, they did announce that zombie survival won't be available until the 3rd of October, so the beta starts on the 2nd, but zombies wouldn't be available until a day later, which I guess at the end of the day isn't really a big deal, but because it is a limited amount of playtime that they're giving you, with the beta and everything, it is sort of weird that it gives off this weird feeling that like Call of Duty and Activision are being really, I don't know if petty is the right word, but I can't think of any other words to fit the feeling of this, but that there's this sort of disdain for zombies, because like what other reason would they have to delay zombies by a full day during the beta if not to just fuck with people? If they want people to still play multiplayer during the beta, then that's fine, I guess. But like I was gonna play both anyways, but like even if it's not actually like petty, it just comes off as sort of a feeling of disdain for zombies, which is really weird because it's like 90% of the reason why Treyarch is popular in the first place. But anyways, I don't know if they went back on that, because I did see a post where I think they reorganized the sort of like beta schedule, and I believe I saw that they put zombie survival back on the 2nd. I might be wrong, but yeah, if they did change it to be day and day with the rest of the beta, then cool. If they didn't, then that's super lame and petty. But yeah, that news came from Call of Duty Next, so I'll get into that now. So Call of Duty Next, the whole big influencer event where they invite a bunch of people out to stream and record footage of their game. The event itself, I don't really care for. I mean, it's cool that they invite people out to record footage and everything. Some of the way that they handle certain things is again comes off as like weirdly hostile at worst, and then just at the absolute best, just like downright petty. So there's this whole like meme that happened last year with BO6 where Mr. Dalek JD was playing zombies, and they have scheduled times where like this is the time slot for playing zombies and this is for multiplayer and this is for Warzone. So I'm assuming that they're told beforehand that, you know, there's only a certain amount of time allotted for each game mode in terms of streaming it and recording it. But so last year for BO6, I believe Mr. Dalek JD was like still playing zombies after a point where they were like switching to either multiplayer or Warzone. I don't remember, but then one of the like staff working the event had to come up to him and tell him to get off the game, and it became this whole like not controversy, but it became like a talking point and be like, hey, this is kind of like weird and fucked up, but also it was kind of funny the first time it happened, and it happened literally again. And like I said, I get that there's like you know, the time slots are really specific because there's only a certain amount of time that they can be there recording the game and everything, but at the same time I feel like when you invite content creators to record something for your game, and you know, you have people who are bigger fans of Warzone, people who are bigger fans of multiplayer, and people who are bigger fans of zombies, and again, the event is to showcase all three game modes, but I don't think there would be any harm in just letting the people record what they want to record and that's it. But at the very least, they could be like more, I don't know, understanding, I guess is the word. Yeah, these revolvers are like super fun to use, but unpack a bunch and upgraded, they're not super great, I'm not gonna lie. But hopefully I could do some side Easter eggs to make the upgrading process less annoying. Speaking of which, yeah, I'm playing the Tomb, by the way, in the background of this video for the inevitable Tomb Easter egg video that I still have to make. I still have to play through maps before Black Ops 7 comes out and do their Easter eggs. I'm not really sure how well that's gonna go, but especially with the beta coming up, my time is gonna be mostly focused on that, unless I get like really bored. But yeah, the same thing happened this year again with Mr. Dalek JD, where they had to kick him off the game to because he was still playing zombies after like the allotted time or whatever. And I need to get a different gun to do some of these Easter eggs. Let me grab, I'm not grabbing the fucking Sigma, give me that. All right, so I believe if I wait until like around either, is it 9 or 10, but you could freeze these waterfalls and it'll give you a purple Aether tool, which is way earlier than the free Aether tool you get on like Liberty Falls, from what I remember. And then there's also an Easter egg where you can get a free level 1 Pack-a-Punch crystal if I find a electrified rock tiered somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, I can't remember every single thing they revealed at the event, but yeah, even if it's not intentional, some of the like the perception of the way they deal with like zombies as a game mode and their creators is like very, it does not look good whether or not it's intentional. But either, my point being is that yeah, COD Next as an event is neat, I guess, but I more so care about the things that they actually revealed there in terms of content for the game. Where the fuck is this rock at? There's supposed to be an electrified rock floating in the air that you're supposed to shoot, and then a bunch of other rocks start moving. You have to get to a certain round? I hope not. That'd be kind of annoying. I also have like no fucking ammo, so that's unfortunate. And the thing is, I want to skip to purple immediately, but also I don't remember what round you do that on. Although I have this blue gun with me already, actually. So am I crazy? Do you have to reach a certain round before this rock spawns? I feel like I'm going insane. I guess the first thing I'll talk about in terms of things revealed for the game is all the mastery camos that they announced. So this is gonna be the first game that launches with 4 different category of mastery camo, I guess is the way I'll describe it. So you obviously you have the camos for multiplayer, for zombies, for Warzone again, and then for the co-op campaign for Black Ops 6 for the first time ever. So I'll put footage of them on the screen going through each of the mastery camos in each game mode, but yeah, I think they all look pretty good. There's not one in there that I dislike, really. And I think the mastery camo for Warzone this year looks really, really good. Now, I'm not going to fucking get it unless the challenges are like piss baby easy. But yeah, even just looking at the challenges that they did for Abyss, for BO6, Warzone, made me not want to even attempt in the first place. The fact that there were challenges to like kill people while you're under their UAV, or kill people who are the most wanted contract is just, yeah, the idea of doing that made me want to like shove my head in a blender. But maybe if the challenges are like not super annoying and I feel like actually paying attention to the video game when I play, then maybe I'll consider doing the Warzone one if I really feel like it. So basically there's 5 rocks that are floating around here and you have to shoot them within a time limit, and I believe I just did it. All right, cool. So that gives you a free crystal and a free cryo freeze. So now I don't have to spend points trying to pack-a-punch my guns, at least for the first time. So that was super useful. Also, I should be setting up the ice staff right now before it gets too late into the rounds. That might be wise to do. I don't remember whether it's 10 or 11. I'm gonna wing it here and hope that it's 10, that it gives you purple, because I remember it was pretty early. It's not. Fuck. Okay, it's probably 11 then. Whatever. That's fine. It's 1,000 salvage that I save. Actually, I lied. I'm not gonna... maybe I should... Yeah, the clips aren't that long. Okay, so I'm actually not going to put the clips over the video while I'm talking. What I'll do is I'll actually just pause my game and pull the clips up on my thingamajig, whatchamacallit, on my computer. So if you go over to OBS recordings, there we go. Here they all are. I don't remember what order I recorded these in. I believe this was multiplayer. So yeah, we have Shattered Gold here, the gold for multiplayer. And that looks pretty good. And then we have Arclight, which this reminds me of Forged from Modern Warfare 3, except it's animated. It also reminds me of Emma Frost from the X-Men, funnily enough. And then we have Tempest. I think this camo is going to look better in person than it does on video because like the electricity effect is cool, but like the background, like moving cloud texture is like, I don't know whether it's just a video, but it looks very not detailed. Again, maybe it looks better in person. And then we have the multiplayer mastery camo, which is Singularity, which is like, this is pretty cool looking, I won't lie. It's also animated when you shoot, or reactive, I should say. Yeah, that's a pretty cool camo. I'm surprised that I believe Singularity is the only like space themed camo because I'm pretty sure it was super tempting for them to do something like dark matter related again for this game. But which one is this? Is this the? I believe this is from the co-op campaign. So yeah, we have Molten Gold here. Again, I believe this is from the co-op campaign. I think this is cool. I think it's like slightly. I can't tell whether it's animated or whether it's just like really reflective in a weird way. But it looks like Melting Gold, which is cool. This is a really cool camo. Moonstone. I think this camo is like gonna be super underrated because it's really nice looking. It's like this cool pearlescent type camo. I think this camo is okay, Chroma Flux, but it's cool that it's animated. And the pattern is really cool. I'm not really sure about the blue, but I'm not really sure what other color they would have used there. And this is Genesis. It's like a green dark matter, basically. It does look really nice. And when you shoot it, it's obviously reactive as well. It reminds me of Nebula when you shoot it, the way it's green and then it's like pink when you shoot it. It's a good looking camo. And then we have the Warzone camos here. We have Golden Damascus, which this looks like really yellow for a gold camo. But almost it doesn't look gold. It's really weird. But I think the Damascus pattern looks cool. But we have Starglass here, which I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I feel like the actual green part is cool, but then it's covered in this like fractured metal texture that doesn't really make it look nice. But Absolute Zero is the next camo, and I think this camo looks really cool. It reminds me of the Tempest one, but with more lightning over it instead of clouds. And I actually think this camo looks really, really cool. The Apocalypse camo, the final one for Warzone. I think I like it more than Abyss, and it's very Venom symbiote-esque. And it's reactive again, obviously, with this cool like red effect. And then for the final one, I just saved this one for last. And we have Golden Dragon here. I think this is probably my favorite looking gold in BO7. It looks really, really nice. And then we have Bloodstone. This is like it reminds me of Weaponized 115 from Black Ops 3, but it's red. And then we have Doomstill. I think this looks really cool with the gears and the cogs in the inside the gun with this green elemental effect. And then we have Infestation, which is the final camo, which again gives off very like symbiote vibes. I know some people aren't a fan of this camo, but I think it looks really, really cool. But yeah, those are all of the Mastery camos, all 4 categories of them for BO7. There's gonna be so much grinding in this game. I'm kind of looking forward to it. At the same time, I'm kind of not, depending on how annoying the challenges are, especially in something like multiplayer and the campaign, especially. I also wonder whether the camos are can you grind camos during like the regular campaign missions, or can you only do it in like the end game mode thing at the end of the campaign? That's like apparently just PvE DMZ. I was supposed to save a zombie at the end of this round. Oh well. Anyways, but yeah, in terms of content for the game, like the new stuff that they showed, again, I'm not really like 100% sure on all the details, just because it was mostly just people streaming the games, and then, you know, in between each like segment they would like talk about each game mode. But I do know that for Warzone, this is the shortest one, so I'll talk about it first. Warzone is getting a new Resurgence map, which is based off of Liberty Falls, which that was leaked, which I believe the Rebirth Island is actually based off of Blood of the Dead, which is really, really weird to think about, where they took Mob of the Dead's layout and reused it for Rebirth Island, which is weird because Rebirth Island was already a location in Black Ops 1, but I don't think it's similar to that campaign missions layout like at all. I might be wrong, but yeah, it's kind of weird to see a like pre-zombified version of Liberty Falls. It's so jarring. Oh, I know what I should buy. I should go buy Deadshot so my hipfire spread is like tightened. That augment is like super useful for the Akimbo Gravemark. Is that what they're called? Gravemark? I forget what they're called. The revolver. And trying to build the ice staff, I have to shoot these lanterns so that they spawn in front of these paintings and light them up so I can shoot the Roman numerals. But anyways, yeah, for multiplayer, I don't remember what they announced from multiplayer specifically. That Vermin literally just died even though it was only alive for like a minute. Okay, cool. Thanks, game. Anyways, but yeah, I think the multiplayer for BO7 looks really solid. It's obviously like an iteration upon BO6 just because, you know, they're doing the whole back-to-back games. The games are going to feel similar, which I'm not saying that as like an excuse for Treyarch or whatever. I'm saying that that's just a matter of fact for when a developer makes 2 games back-to-back, one right after the other. Like, I would be more surprised if the games were super mechanically and functionally different from each other. Where is Speed Curler? Come over and buy that shit real quick. Yeah, I think the multiplayer looks really fun. For me personally, it's gonna come down to like how the maps play, because like I don't want the only maps that I play to be like the really tiny face-off ones. Even though like running into a meat grinder and spawn dying for an hour straight is like really fun, it does get like mind numbing after a certain point. But from what people are saying, apparently the maps in BO7, which apparently over time there's gonna be like a shit ton of them, but the maps that are going to be in BO7 are already, what people are saying, are way better than the maps in BO6 already. So that is very good to hear. Is this timed? I don't think it is actually. I always stress out over this step because I feel like I have to do it fast because there's always fucking zombies smacking the shit out of me. That parasite died again. What the fuck? Okay, well I can do this now, I guess. This one is 7. This one is 8. This one is 9. This one is 10. Also, that is not how Roman numerals work, by the way. I just want to point that out. You can't vertically segment one of the tally marks or one of the Roman numerals and make it fucking... Actually, that's 8 because there are 3 pieces there, even though one is above the other, and that's not how those fucking symbols were. Anyways, whatever. I'm pissed. Yeah, apparently the maps are really good. At least better than BO6's launch maps, which those maps were not good. I haven't played a ton of BO6's post-launch multiplayer maps, but the few times that I did play it, I did enjoy them more than the launch ones. And the like perk specialty system that they had in BO6 is coming back, but this time you can also... Holy 2-shot mimic, by the way. But this time you can mix perks of a different color and get different specialty bonuses, so you don't have to match 3 perks of the same color anymore, which honestly that should have been a thing in BO6 to begin with, but whatever. I believe they also reorganized some of the perks into different categories so that like one of the categories isn't like overtly better than the other like it is in BO6. Die. 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 These guns, when you upgrade them, are really fun to use. And now that I know about that free pack punch upgrade, it's gonna make my point efficiency more, well, efficient. Grab that part and max ammo. And now I have to actually get points to unlock the other side of the map so I can do that one. But yeah, the maps and the color palette of the game just generally is like really vibrant compared to BO6. I'm pretty sure, I thought BO6 was a pretty colorful game, at least compared to like MW3 and especially MW2. But I'll bring this up in the multiplayer section as well. But the weapon prestige system is also going to have master camos attached to it, and they're going to be like returning camos from a bunch of different Call of Duty games. Apparently the bacon camo is coming back, as I'm assuming, as a prestige camo, and apparently it's also animated and it sizzles, which is very funny. I really hope they remove the restriction of like having to unlock the military camos before you can equip a special camo, because that's I don't know why they did that in this game. It's really stupid and arbitrary. Hello. Goodbye. I need like a mutant injection or a war machine to drop so I can feel more secure during that defense step for the ice staff. But I have my entry commands. It should be fine. But yeah, I believe each gun in the game is going to have 3 prestige camos. So I don't know what the like quote unquote max level a gun can get up to, but it's pretty high just with the fact that there's prestiging weapons in the game just at all. So if you really like a gun, then you can show people that by being like max level, what is it, 250 or whatever the stupid shit it's going to be for the individual gun. So let me come over here and open this side of the map. And then this needs to move and shine on that wall there. I can upgrade my rarity on my guns again. I'll go do that really quick. I don't know why, but the game visually and like just the way that like the setting and everything reminds me of like a mix of like BO6 and Black Ops 4. Because obviously it's taking a lot of like the modern mechanics from like Cold War and BO6, and then sort of combining it with like the aesthetic of like BO3 and BO4 and some BO2 stuff. Unless they fuck up the whole post-launch of this game, which apparently this game is going to have the most post-launch content for like a Call of Duty game like ever. And I believe they said like was it from game launch to season 1 or like season 1? I don't remember which. I think they said something along the lines of the game's gonna have like 7 new 6v6 maps before season 1 launches, which is crazy. Now, if we can keep the themes of the season, you know, within the realm of a Black Ops game, and not have a whole season dedicated to fucking Warzone. That would be awesome. I really want a season themed around zombies as a game mode. That'd be really cool. Yeah, there is a free, whatchamacallit. Oh, it's here. Okay, I can do this in a second. There's a free ray gun Easter egg I might try to do. It might make the defense step slightly easier before I inevitably replace it with the ice staff. I really wish these dig sites were like slightly more obvious because they're kind of like well hidden. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I believe I need depth perception to do this anyway, so never mind. I'm not gonna fucking do this Easter egg. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this was the only map that I played in BO6 where I like just straight up didn't know how to build the wonder weapon. Mostly due to the fact that this is probably like my least played map in this entire game, at least up until this point. I should look at my stats for BO6 maps like before BO7 comes out. Holy one shot, Batman. And yeah, for zombies, moving on to that, obviously they had a bunch of people playing Ashes of the Damned and survival mode, I believe, which I'm not sure if I want to like actually watch people's gameplay of that. I might. Part of me wants to like be not surprised because obviously I read the giant fucking blog post, but I want sort of my first actual experience seeing the map and playing it to be like in the beta and when the game comes out. So I'll decide about that later at some point. But yeah, I really do hope that that thing I saw where they're like, oh, okay, does survival mode is available at the beta launch and not a day later, because it's gonna be really disappointing if you have to wait an entire day to play zombies for seemingly no good reason other than to be petty. All right, grab that. I could do with a few more perks. Hello. Goodbye. I know that for the multiplayer grind for the camos, I believe they already said that they're going to be lowering the headshot requirements from 100 down to 80. So it's like a 20% decrease. So what would 20% of 2,000 headshots be if they were going to do the same thing for zombies? I think it's like 1,600. So I don't know if they're going to do that or change any of the camo challenges at all, whether it be the military ones or like the special and mastery ones. I kind of hope they don't have a step or they don't have a challenge that's like kill 30. There's no manglers, but whatever the equivalent is going to be. Because yeah, grinding for a camo on a map and then you get to a camo that's like, oh, you have to kill this specific enemy type that's not available on one of these maps. So you have to go start an entirely new game and regrind your gear up to a point that's actually effective in accomplishing your challenge is kind of annoying. Oh, mutant injection. I'll take that shit. I want to see if I can get a free perk or two, and hopefully they're good. I don't know if you can get perks that are not available on this map. Like, could I get double tap from one of these or like Vulture Aid? That'd be neat. Like, I suppose I can't complain too much. I could be going through like a camo grind like Modern Warfare 2019 or some horrible shit, but it's less about the camo grind being hard because it wasn't hard. It was just like mind-numbing, especially grinding 2,000 headshots and like 30 mangler kills or whatever special kills it is for like 30 guns in Black Ops 6. So I saw a purple drop fall from that, but it didn't fucking go anywhere. Okay, cool. Okay, so hopefully this goes better than it did in the first recording. I have the turrets that I'm going to be using with my energy mine and a mutant injection, so if I fail this, then this is gonna be fucked. So I'm gonna throw one of those there, and then I'm gonna throw one of those there. Thankfully I have two of them. You know, I'm gonna pop this here, even though my turrets should be killing most of the zombies, but some of them are getting through, so I'm just gonna stand here and deal with these. Yeah, this is easily the hardest step of like the entire Easter egg. I'm not even gonna hold you with that. Like, it's easy if you have all this shit with you, but like if you just try to do this raw, it's kind of like annoying. Oh, look at that, level up. This should be ending relatively soon. There you go. Yeah, I feel like the timing on that is not the same every single time. It probably is. I'm just an idiot. But yeah, there you go. We have the ice staff. Now, that was way easier than the last time I tried to do this. Hello. At this point in the game, the ice staff just base is pretty decent, but when you upgrade this thing, it's like, I'm pretty sure this is the best wonder weapon in the entire game. It would have been really cool to see the other staffs on this map, although I don't think this map is hard enough or big enough to justify having 4 OP elemental staffs, but more so for the fun factor, I guess. Also, yeah, these revolvers, when you have them akimbo and you pack punch them and you reload, they don't reload all the way. It's very weird. I'm pretty sure this happens with a bunch of other dual-wield guns as well. It's very annoying. If this bug is in BO7, I'm going to tweak to an unfathomable degree. But now what we can go do is start the upgrade process, which is way easier than the base quest for this, I guess I should say. So I believe it's on this side. One of the sides of this map will spawn 3 torches, or 3 lanterns, or whatever the fuck you call these. And hopefully I'm not going too slow. There we go. So you freeze 3 of these on whatever side 3 of them are on, because it could be either side. And then you come back into the dark ether, and there's going to be 3 rocks that have symbols on them that you have to shoot, and then they'll lower, and then you can actually see what the symbols are, and we need those for the next step. But we come over here. Hopefully these aren't super annoying to find. There's one there. So that's 1, and then there's 2. Not having a scope on my gun makes seeing these really difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And I really don't want to pause my game, turn my FOV to 60, and take a picture of each one, which I did in the last recording. I'm gonna just take a gamble and just guess, because I'm lazy and I don't want to pull out my phone. What door closed? It was the yellow one? I think it was the yellow one. I should probably buy stamina up since it makes me immune to fall damage, which is weird that that's an augment for stamina up and not just a base ability of PhD. Because for PhD, you have to prone dive to actually get the immune to fall damage effect, which is very odd, but whatever. Anyways, so if we come over here, I believe it's this one, and this one? If I got that first try without actually remembering them, I'm the GOAT. Oh my god, I'm the GOAT. You can see the symbols on the floor. I'm so good at this fucking game. Anyways, yeah, I believe for the beta, by the way, interact with this, because if you don't, you'll time yourself out and it'll kick you off, and then the door will reset. I did that, and I thought my game bugged out and soft locked it, but I didn't realize that the doors could move if you fail this, so. Oh my god, look how fast I am. Holy shit. I have the augment on where equipment kills makes you move super fast. I didn't realize how fast it was until I saw a video of it. It's crazy. Where are you going? Oh, did I fail? Did I not kill? What? Why did the zombies stop spawning? Okay. Well, that's fucking annoying. I killed all those zombies and it didn't. Okay, whatever. Anyways. All right, well, now I have to go to the next round, but it's fine because this step is usually really easy. Did any of the doors close yet? Okay, there's the red one. Come over here. Yeah, I believe in the beta on the survival map, the wonder weapon will be in the mystery box, which is really cool. I'm really curious to see how it works. I wonder if you can pack punch it. It wouldn't surprise me if like there's an upgrade quest for it and you can't actually pack a punch it in the beta. That wouldn't surprise me. Also, I need to, I'll get to the end of this wave and then try this again. Or maybe I could be the GOAT and just do this while training all these zombies right here. It was that one, and that one. Well, am I the GOAT again? I'm the GOAT. Anyways, yeah, part of me really wants to watch footage of zombies from COD Next, but man, it's gonna be so painful going through the beta and having to wait until, after it's over, having to wait like basically an entire month after the fact. I believe you also have to be next to this is also the issue. That's why it disappeared in the first place, actually, because I'm a maroon. Yeah, why is the upgrade for this like so much easier than the actual building of it? It's very odd. I think that defense step and like the final boss of this map is like the main reason why this map is like considered to be the hardest map in this entire game. Although I say that, the Z-Rex kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to doing that solo on camera, but I do have to do it eventually. You're over here, and we should be good. It should be moving to the center right now. There we go. And now that that's there, we can come over here and hold the interact button, and we now have the upgraded ice staff. That was, even with that failed step there earlier, that was way smoother than the initial recording that I did of this. That energy turret is still there, by the way. That's crazy. But yeah, it's really bad for points, but I guess I should show this off like slightly. So you can charge it when you upgrade it, obviously, and it's really good. Also, the base attack, holy shit. The base attack on this is now just super strong. It's kind of crazy. Also, I think wonder weapon kills count as equipment kills. It's actually really weird because I get the speed boost from stamina up after I get kills with it. But yeah, if like an amalgam spawns, I'll whip it out and show how strong the gun actually is because it's kind of crazy. But yeah, overall, despite the fact that COD Next as an event was sort of handled not super well for multiple reasons, but I am excited for the game and the stuff that they did show there in terms of gameplay. I think the narrative for the campaign and the zombies is like my only sort of question mark on the game. I want to see how fast I move after I get a grenade kill here. Watch this. Oh my god, look how fast I am. I'm zooming. This augment is so good. Did they nerf this in BO7? I think they might have. So yeah, talking about that, again, I'm really excited for the game, but some of the stuff that they announced during that whole zombies reveal and like blog posts and everything, especially with like the augments and stuff, they're nerfing a lot more things than I thought they would, and not as many things are getting changed or buffed as much as I would have liked them to. So I believe they're nerfing, what is it, Tribologist on PhD so that you don't move nearly as far or as fast while sliding. They said it's a slight amount, but I guess that remains to be seen how much of a nerf that actually is. And then for things like the Deadshot augment that refunds bullets on critical hits, they're also adding a small cooldown to that, which that kind of made shotguns like really, really good. Like they did just buff shotguns like outright in terms of like their pack-a-punch damage and everything. So they'll still probably be fine if, the shotguns in this game are any indication. But yeah, I feel like instead of nerfing like standout augments that are strong, but also really fun and unique to use, they should instead like rework or buff augments that are kind of boring, because there's a lot of augments while the system is really cool that are just like boring, like, oh, you get an extra charge on this, or this procs more often, or this does more damage to elites, when they could be doing more interesting things with this whole augment system. So I'm kind of concerned that like they might go overboard with like the whole balancing aspect of zombies, especially considering it's a PvE game mode. Like, I get not wanting something to be so overtly strong. It's like way better than everything else, and it can like sort of circumvent like challenges in your game that's not supposed to be intentional. But like, if something is just good and it happens to be strong, I don't see why you would nerf it and not buff other things that are just bad. Also, one-shot mimic, by the way. Two-shot amalgam, by the way. Oh my god, he dropped a pack crystal. Holy shit. That was not a thing. I got super baited by that because it spawned right under the amalgam as it was dying. That's fucked up. I got actually baited. But yeah, hopefully they don't go too like nerf happy with like the whole augment system and everything. There's the cool thing that they're adding where you, once you research everything in your augments, you'll be able to equip 2 minor ones. It'd be cool if you could equip 2 major ones as well, just because, again, some of them are not even that good, really. But yeah, every existing enhancement is getting 1 new major and 1 new minor augment. And then obviously the new stuff, the new perks and ammo mods are getting like a full suite of obviously new stuff because they didn't exist before. I know that some people are kind of like underwhelmed with how this thing is still here. How is that even possible? That's crazy. But I know some people are sort of underwhelmed with how much new stuff is being added. Obviously there's the new map and there's the new suite of guns and everything, you know, with like every Call of Duty, every zombies game, whatever. But yeah, some people are disappointed that there's 1 new perk and 1 new ammo mod and 1 new, what is the other thing? Perks, ammo mods, and what is the other enhancement? Oh, and the field upgrade. And you could argue technically that the new stuff that they're adding isn't really new. The toxic growth field upgrade is from Cold War. Now with the augment system, it'll probably act differently than it did in that game, but still. And then the ammo mod returning is from BO3. I'm pretty sure in terms of like killing power, it was like one of the better ones, just because it would like just outright kill stuff, unlike some of the other ammo mods. And then the only actual new thing is the Wisp Tea perk, but it's sort of like a reimagining of Bloodwolf Bite. The fact that it's sort of like an AI companion that can like attack zombies with you, but it is unique asset wise, so I'll give them like, I'll call that one new for the sake of argument. And I was sort of agreeing with that notion, but then I thought about it. It was like, okay, between each, like if you look at the older zombie games, like how much new, quote unquote, new stuff was added between each game? Between World at War and Black Ops 1, what was really new that was added? Now, obviously the engine was like improved, and they're improved between each game, but I'm not really counting that because that's sort of like regardless of whether there's like zombies in it or not. Oh, doppelgast. Goodbye, doppelgast. Like, were there new perks added into Black Ops 1? Was it Mule Kick? I'm pretty sure Mule Kick was from Black Ops 1. I might be misremembering horribly, but I'm pretty sure it was. So that was new. The ability to hold 3 guns is nice. But yeah, the only really new thing that came from Black Ops 1 besides that was like the maps. You know, the location of the map was like the biggest deal about Black Ops 1 and what the wonder weapon was on each map. And then Black Ops 2, the new things that were added to that were what, Vulture Aid and Who's Who, which in this game Vulture Aid is like the GOAT, so I guess we need to thank Black Ops 2 for that. But fucking Who's Who, Cry Me a Fucking River, that perk sucks. Is Tombstone from Black Ops 2 as well? I don't actually remember. I haven't played like actual Black Ops 2 in like forever, so if I'm misremembering some things, then, you know, forgive me. But yeah, from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2, you had those 2 or 3 new perks, and then you had Double Pack Punch, which it was okay. You got random attachments instead of AATs because that wasn't a thing yet. And then I guess for depending on the map, you got like the introduction of really in-depth, complicated Easter egg quests. And in terms of the story, the transition from like Jimmy Zelensky to Jason Blundell and, you know, the end of Black Ops 2 and going into Black Ops 3. How is that still there? That's crazy. But yeah, gameplay wise, it was mostly just the new perks and the double pack punch introduction. I guess Black Ops 2 also did introduce survival maps, but then they never did that again until literally this game coming up. So I guess they also introduced Grief, but I think Grief is like severely overhyped by people who were either super nostalgic for it or like had never played it and just wanted to like hop on the bandwagon in terms of acting like they remember old things that they didn't actually experience. I'll be astonished if they fix this reload bug for dual wield before BO7 comes out, because I'm pretty sure this exists on other guns as well. It's not just these. So there's a mimic here somewhere, and it's fucking, this effect on my screen is pissing me off. Where is it? Where art thou, mimic kun? Yeah, and then going from Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 3, I think it had like one of the bigger changes where they introduced AATs into the game, which like that's been a staple ever since that system has been introduced. And then they also introduced gobblegums as a mechanic, which for better or for worse you know, became an iconic part of zombies despite the fact that it's only been in 2 games actually. The system was in Black Ops 4, I guess, technically speaking, although aesthetically it was different. But yeah, with Black Ops 3, besides the Gobblegums and AATs, there was also Widow's Wine, which was the only perk introduced into that game, from what I remember. The really good maps and the really engaging story for Black Ops 3, I feel like were really what people really remember about that game specifically. By the way, Wonder Fizz can get all the good perks now. That. Oh, I got a ton of points. I wasn't even paying attention. How is that thing still here, by the way? Also, I like 2-shot or 3-shot that amalgam. I wasn't paying attention because I was spamming it, but you get the idea. I'll charge this again for the one time. I will say, I really love the animations on this weapon specifically. Look how fast I am. Holy shit. And then I think the actual, like, the biggest change in terms of zombies from Treyarch is, probably comes from, BO4. Because they like completely reworked the point system and the whole perk system. That was like the first Treyarch game that had like loadouts, technically speaking. I guess BO3, to go back to that really quick, also had the introduction of the, it wasn't called the gunsmith, but the fact that you can customize your guns outside of the game and they would be that way if you got them in game. But yeah, the new perk system, the new point system were, like, from what I remember, the biggest things that BO3 added, which, you know, depending on the change made, some were more well received than others. The game is very controversial for a reason. I feel like most people look back at that game and be like, yeah, this game is sort of fucked up, and it's very obvious why, but it's also still really fun. And then, you know, going from BO4 to Cold War was like sort of the introduction of zombies with things like salvage and armor. And, you know, they reworked the perk system again and the point system again. And were there any new perks specific to Cold War? I don't think there were, actually. Oh, and going back to BO2, I guess it did also introduce Double Tap 2.0. I believe that's where Double Tap 2.0 came from what I remember. Again, I might be wrong. It might have been BO3. But anyways, my point being is that, yeah, I think Cold War might have been the first game that did not introduce, like, a new perk, like, period. Which, yeah, the game was made during COVID, yada yada, but still, like, that's crazy. Die. Yeah, seeing how strong the ice staff is when you upgrade it is sort of relieving some of the stress of having to do this Easter egg solo when I get to that. But I wonder if there's still like a broken Free Fire Gobblegum like strat for the bosses in this game, because part of me wants to use these for the tomb, the revolvers here, but I don't remember. Can you crit? Does hitting the Sentinel artifact count as a crit? That's gonna be like the main determining factor, I guess. And BO4 obviously introduced a bunch of new perks. Now granted, again, like BO4 in general, those perks are a mixed bag, whether or not any of them are good or bad. I forgot to buy armor. I don't think BO6 introduced a new perk either. I might be wrong. I don't think it did, but it did introduce the augment system, which is a mixed bag. Not because any of them, not because the system itself is awful, but because some of the augments are just like, some of them are really good, some of them do basically nothing. I would really love to see the zombies team at Treyarch sort of recognize the fact that a lot of the augments in this game are not really exciting. You know, maybe at some point during the game's life, they go through most of them and either buff them or rework them. Because I don't think, again, unless something is super broken and it like circumvents any challenge in the game at all whatsoever, I don't think they should really be nerfing things. But yeah, the beta coming up here in just a few days. Again, hopefully I get a code from watching the Connect stream. I literally had my phone open at work for an hour, just sitting in my pocket at like 160p with the volume turned off, just so I can get all the drops. I got all the drops like I showed you at the beginning of the video, but hopefully my code is just delayed. But if it's not, I'll probably have to bite the bullet and pre-order the game now as opposed to waiting until closer to launch. I just realized I still need to pack punch my guns again. Whoopsie. I guess I'll go do that. Teehee eto. But yeah, one thing I am glad that I'm seeing, at least from the initial sort of preview that we've seen of Black Ops 7 Zombies, is that the map is launching with a unique wonder weapon. Now, I guess BO6 had the benefit of launching 2 maps at the same time, so they brought one back and reworked it to be good, and then they had the unique one on Terminus with the Beam Smasher. But yeah, it would be really nice if every map had a unique wonder weapon, because like you're seeing, returning stuff is cool, especially if they rework things that were not as good as they probably should have been into, you know, good wonder weapons. I'm pretty sure the ice staff was good on Origins, but I don't think it was like nearly this good. Like it just straight up does a ton of damage. I believe it's a rumor that the first DLC for Black Ops 7, I know it's crazy that I'm already talking about like future releases for content updates for a game that's not even out yet, but that's just how Call of Duty leaks be. The first DLC map might be the New York map where Germany dropped a nuclear bomb and, you know, won World War II and everything. So if that's the case, that'll be really cool, because I don't think Zombies has had a like dense urban map like a Treyarch game. I think Shadows of Evil might be the only like city map that we've had in a Treyarch game. So if that's the case, that'll be really, really cool. I'm also really excited to hear all like the voice lines and interactions between all the characters. Also for like the lore story nerds, if you care about the story for zombies, if you read the blog post, you know about the new extraction system that they're doing. So instead of a helicopter extracting you out of like real world locations, you're in the dark ether, so it's sort of like magical. And instead of extracting via helicopter, you're going to be extracting via phone booths, and the phone booth looks exactly like the one from the D Machine intro cutscene, and the exfil screen is like the successful exfil screen is a hand holding up a little house that looks a lot like the house from Revelations, which these two things are very obviously related to Samantha in a very significant way. So maybe the Samantha is not actually dead. Truthers and copers are might actually have a glimmer of hope. As I wait until round 31 to extract, I want to show the extract with the ice staff because it's super overpowered, but I'll probably just cut to that when I get there. In case this wasn't obvious, this is not like I wasn't going to do the Easter egg in this video. I was sort of just doing this in the background while I yap. But yeah, I wanted to get my bearings for the inevitable tomb video that I have to make. At least learning how to make the wonder weapon without a guide was like my main goal for like every map. Also, I should mention that the cursed mode, which is like the hardcore zombies mode where you can put modifiers on and everything, the messaging around it was sort of confusing. So people were wondering if you could do the main quest while playing cursed mode because the messaging on the initial blog post and tweet was not very clear, but they did eventually come out and clarify that you can do the main quest on cursed mode, which is really cool. And if it has the classic point system, I might be tempted to play cursed mode more than like the normal mode. By the way, the amalgam is dead. I was just yapping and it died. But yeah, they did clarify that you can do the main quest on cursed mode, which is really cool. They didn't mention how to unlock it, but some people are assuming that you have to beat the main quest on the normal version of the map before you can do that, but that seems kind of like a high barrier to entry for like most people, especially this being a game mode that like a ton of people want to play. It would be sort of weird if that was like a requirement, because like there's tons of people who like aren't Easter egg people who would want to play this. So I heard that it's like a fast unlock, so I doubt it's going to be anything to do with the main quest. It might be like a side quest on Ashes of the Damned, or maybe you have to beat the campaign like World at War Zombies. That'd be really funny. Yeah, this video is already about to be like an hour and a half long, so I still have to edit this, so that's gonna be fun. But if you did enjoy this video and my schizophrenic yapping about a game that's not even out yet, then leaving a like on the video and subscribing would be very much appreciated. Again, I'm going to be making videos and probably streaming the BO7 beta once it comes out. I'm going to be playing both multiplayer and zombies, but if zombies is available at the launch of the beta, then I'll probably be playing that mostly. But yeah, I'll dabble in both modes just because I am curious to try out all the guns in multiplayer. I can't wait to watch all the streams and videos of people doing the camo grinds in BO7 while I'm also doing the camo grind in BO7. It's going to be so good. The grind is going to be so long, but I think I'm ready. Anyways, later.